So there's going to be some bad things in this video, but there is one good thing, which is I was able to leave the house long enough to get a haircut. I was wearing hats in all the other videos because my hair was just way too long for me and I wanted to get it cut. But I was able to take care of that at least. So, week as a whole has not been great. I ran out of my main painkiller and tried to get the prescription refilled. The pharmacy said, okay, we can have it on this date. And then that became the next day. And then it became the next day. And now it's next week. Because for whatever reason, across all pharmacies around here, there's a big shortage for an incredibly common painkiller. And that led to various suggestions from the doctor's office, such as getting over-the-counter pediatric Tylenol and doubling the dose. Well, that wound up with way too much medicine in my stomach. I couldn't handle it, and I upchucked it. And then that led to the second suggestion, which so far is working out, which is just getting like regular over-the-counter Tylenol and grinding up the pills, 2 of them to be specific, and then incorporating those into what I eat and drink. Can confirm, if you try mixing it into any solid, like semi-solid foods, soft foods, you will only be able to taste the pill, which is incredibly bitter. Mixing it into a milkshake is fine, but seemingly everything else I've tried, not so good. So probably just gonna mix it with water, just force myself to drink that down, and then chase it with something afterward. That wasn't the only bad thing I had to deal with, but I have to do that grinding up pills thing now, until early next week. So that's not going to be so fun. I had an issue where my feeding tube almost came loose. I don't think I need to explain how that is very bad. So we went into the doctor's office with an emergency, non-emergency appointment. And they're going to replace the stitching for it to make sure that it didn't move around anymore. I asked for anesthesia, and I still don't know if that was a mistake or not. Because, yes, it hurts to have someone stitch you without anesthesia, but the anesthesia, I was expecting put in, inject, out, done. Instead, they injected in 4 different locations, and each one hurt like a bitch. The stitching didn't hurt, but the anesthesia did. And it was the kind of anesthesia that burns for a bit after it's in you. So, we almost have nowhere to go but up from here. Almost. Hopefully next week, the painkiller's back in stock, and I don't have to resort to grinding and shooting pills. But there's something else I figured I would do for this update, which is give you a bit of a visual aid for what my torso looks like. I've explained this, but I think it's better to demonstrate visually. So, this is around where the belly button is. So, this dot is the feeding tube. Right above here is a point about the size of the belly button, maybe a little smaller. And that is the insertion point for the feeding tube. and a couple other things that happened during another surgery. But the big thing is the scar from the major surgery. So, it's slightly above the belly button, up a little bit, and then it goes in a big sweeping motion like this, up to about here. And that's permanent. So, yeah, I'll just have to deal with that. But hopefully next week's going to be a little better. Doctor's appointments move back to June. So, the purgatory has been extended. But yeah, hopefully nowhere to go but up from here.